In today's video, I'm going to tell you how I got rich with crypto. And I think it's really important to talk to you about this on a day when market sentiment seems to be extremely low, especially around altcoins. They're bleeding hard. So in today's video, guys, it's going to be a heart-to-heart with you. And by the time you're done watching this, I hope that you have a much better understanding of what it really takes to win big in crypto, because the perception on crypto Twitter and from TikTok and other KOLs is that there's get-rich-quick schemes everywhere. The truth is that can happen. It can happen probably in crypto more than other places. But if that's what you're banking on, you're likely to lose your money and end up with a bag of zeros. This is why on the channel I teach you about barbell strategies, and today's video is going to reinforce all of that. So guys, do me a favor, destroy the like button. This video is very important. Please share it with everybody, because if you care about people, this is the kind of message that they need to hear. Also, if you're new to the channel, what's up? My name is Chasse. I've been in the space for 13 years. I started building a Bitcoin lottery in 2013, and I've been building nonstop. I run a VC, manage other people's money. I wear all kinds of hats in the space. Making content is definitely something I try to do in my spare time, and building and investing is what I do with the rest of my time. And I also can look at the markets through a DGen hat, which is what I do with my own personal money sometimes for fun, or through my VC hat when I have to be very professional and make very, rational decisions because I'm dealing with other people's money. So a bit about me, and to preface the video today, without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So even though we're going to start out with the current state of the market, this video will hold true with every downturn that happens during the bull run. And to be clear, we are very much still in a bull run. So anyone who thinks we've hit the market top just doesn't understand what the hell's going on. I mean, it couldn't be further from the truth. The evidence is overwhelming. So this video is something that you can watch, save it, and watch it again anytime that you're feeling uncomfortable, anytime that you're feeling negative or depressed because your portfolio is down 70 or 80 or 90% that it was a few weeks ago or a month ago. Now remember, most of these altcoin corrections will bounce back to where they were pretty quickly in a bull run. But when the bull run ends, they will not bounce, and they will crash way harder than Bitcoin will. And this is why it's very important to keep the majority of your wealth and count your wealth in Bitcoin. Take profits into Bitcoin. I tell you that probably once a week. So let's take a quick look at an example of the market's overreacting. So right now, we're almost on our way back to 100,000 today. And then we had this news that broke out. The market's crashed because Trump said that he would do reciprocal tariffs on countries that were giving us tariffs, including Europe and things like that. That's fine. Regardless of this, if you don't understand what's going on right now in the US and the US economy, where crypto is going to thrive, this shouldn't affect that whatsoever. And nothing actually. With Department of Energy Efficiency cutting down ridiculous spending, if you haven't been paying attention to everything that Doge has been doing, I mean, this is going to make the economy much stronger, but I'm not trying to get political. Anyway, if you look at banter bubbles and you look at the hourly or today was very green, and then this news came out and now things are not looking as good. Even worse when you get into the lower cap coins. Now, I want to show you guys a couple of things here. One is, a lot of people ask me, why didn't you ever take profit in your Bitcoin? I first bought Bitcoin in 2012 and then really went in and changed all my cash, and I sold my business for Bitcoin in 2013. Well, it's because when you make large investment decisions, you really need to have conviction. And so this, my friends, is 9 pages of something that I had to read 25 times because I knew nothing about encryption, computer science. This is the Bitcoin white paper. If you guys are in the industry, I suggest that you read it, and it'll help you understand better why Bitcoin is so important. I think a lot maybe come to the industry and just figure out that Bitcoin is a crypto that runs on a blockchain, but do you know the difference between a private and a public blockchain? Do you know why Bitcoin is so unique compared to XRP or Solana or anything else? Why it can't and will not be replicated? Very important to understand this. right? And I also encourage you to go check out some earlier videos from Andreas Antonopoulos, Roger Ver, things like that, who really were preaching how important Bitcoin is. So for me, I didn't even really look at, I didn't even really know about bear and bull markets until I started doing this YouTube channel. It wasn't a question for me of when am I going to sell my Bitcoin and take profit. I knew, I would say in 2013, 2014, that I was 50% sure that Bitcoin was going to be around forever and used. Well, I would say, I think that was as 80% sure that it was going to be around forever and probably used for at least, explicit, illegal things or whatever. And that had value. And then about every year that moved on after that, I became about 10% more confident in its global adoption. And probably by 2017, I became 95% sure that it would become a global reserve. And today they still tell you that it's going to be like a stockpile asset. Like it's going to be like gold, or it's going to be like silver or oil, where countries stockpile it as a store of value. They say that because it's less controversial, less threatening to governments and institutions than saying it's going to become the world reserve currency. As much as the United States wants to keep the dollar dominance, other countries do not want to keep the dollar dominance. They're at an unfair advantage. I think Bukele from El Salvador understands this. And I think if people take time to really understand what Bitcoin is, and that's the problem, is they don't read the damn paper. It's 9 pages. Now you can just use chat. I didn't have ChatGPT back in the day to help me explain it like I was 5. I had to look it up in the dictionary. So I believe still, and I'd say by 2017, I was certain that it would become a world reserve currency at the very least. And then people started, switching from the currency to digital gold, mostly because of the small block versus big block wars. And now Bitcoin is expensive to send. So who knows if one day, it just depends. If fiat fails, then obviously this is going to be what takes its place, right? And right now people make fun of the Lightning Network, and I don't like the Lightning Network necessarily. It's at least not the one that was built by the main guys. But I do think, though, that if every fiat in the world, every government-issued currency is going to die sooner or later. The US dollar is on its way to collapse. We'll see if what Trump and the administration are doing can fix it. But, that's going to take some miracles, right? And the only thing that can take its place is this, because no one's going to want to use a BRICS currency either. Whenever it's centralized and controlled by a government, you have a central point of failure, you have manipulation, you have all kinds of stuff, opaqueness, you don't know what the monetary and fiscal policy is. It can be changed at any time. Bitcoin and other truly decentralized protocols, you know exactly what the monetary and fiscal policy is. You know exactly what the rules are. You know what the inflation is or deflation. You know how it works, right? These rules change every day with fiat currencies. Anyway, if you're going to allocate a high percentage of your net worth or your portfolio to an asset, make sure that you have conviction in it and put it in your mind as like a 10 or 15 year hold, because you will be probably extremely wealthy, even if you do Bitcoin today, in my opinion. Even though Bitcoin's at $97,000 today, I still think if you just do everything you can to accumulate Bitcoin right now, that in 10 or 15 years, you will be very well off, compared to trying to do a 9 to 5 for 40 years. But there's a lot of new, amazing other things too that I think are good to add to your portfolio that will change the world as well. And this is why I'm very, very bullish on decentralized technology, decentralized apps, decentralized infrastructure, because they are truly revolutionary and different. And the fact is, we just haven't got to see those yet because the technology needed time to evolve. We needed ways that were easier for people to use blockchain. It's been very, very difficult for a long time. Now it's getting easier, but it still has a ways to go before it's super easy. And when we do, they will be revolutionary. Like probably Uber will likely be displaced or disrupted by a decentralized version. Why? Because it's better. It's more efficient because there's no middlemen extracting value from the equation. It's a peer-to-peer application. So have conviction in your high value bets. Speculate, gamble, play around with the thing that, that the YouTuber or the influencer that you watch on Twitter makes a call. If you want to trade it, go for it, but understand you're playing in a casino. And so my high conviction bets, I look at quite deeply, and it makes me feel better about when they're correcting, especially when it's an altcoin and it's correcting 80% in the middle of a bull run. Thinking, then the thought crosses your mind. You like, what do I do here? Do I like, is it done? Was that the trade? Like, did people just come and pump and dump? But if you understand what the project is, right, and you believe that the team and leadership are building and are going to stick to their word on what they do and keep shipping things and give you reason and reinstill confidence that they're going to deliver on what they are telling you, then it's okay. You can either choose to hold through that downturn, or if you have extra money that you can allocate into it, wow. The thing that you wanted to buy was $1 billion market cap last week is now sitting at 200 million. And you're worried? If you knew exactly what that was doing and how much power it probably had, you're buying one of the hottest things in the world, the hottest investments at an 80% discount. Fantastic. That's my little rant. And just to show you guys, this is the lottery that I built. I started building first tech I've ever built. I didn't build it myself. I had a team out of India help me with it. I started building in 2013. Took a year and a half to build something that probably today would take a month or two. But anyway, I won't play the whole thing, but check it out. It's called World Super Lotto.
Welcome to the 61st World Super Lotto.
You can see that the price of Bitcoin was at $236 right now. This is the 61st. So I've been doing it for over a year at this point.
Live drawing. It is May 16th, 2015. And we have a 22 Bitcoin jackpot for you today. Let's go ahead and refresh the Bitcoin price right now compared to the US dollar. It is, at this very moment, $2.35 The time,
$2.35.
Let's see.
So then, what I would do, guys, is that I bought one of these.
There's all 40 balls. Let's drop them down.
I actually bought one of these machines in China and then live streamed it.
First ball looks like it's going to be 10. Let's see, close-up cam says, yep, 10.
So anyway, and then you get to the end, and you can see here's all the winners.
38, 28, and 30.
22 Bitcoin jackpot at the time, guys. And so, one of the things I just wanted to show you, this was when I've been through this market for a long time, gone through a lot, and I'm so fascinated by Bitcoin, became obsessed with the idea of it, that I want to start playing around with it and building in the space. World Super Lotto was the first experiment that I did. And it was fun. And I earned some Bitcoin, but most importantly, I got integrated with the community. And it was too early at the time, but it was fun. And yeah, I got to understand how Bitcoin worked a bit more and built with it. So when you see a post like this from Miles saying that he thinks that this dip hurts a lot more than FTX in 2022 because FTX market sentiment was already at the rock bottom. We were at the bottom of a bear market already. No one was expecting much higher. And then FTX collapsed. And so everyone's like, oh, okay, fuck, that's just another thing. Whatever. That was the market bottom. But this dip comes when everyone was expecting to go much, much higher. All the bullish news, Trump administration, blah, blah, blah. Bitcoin reserve. So this one's feeling worse. But what you have to understand is that if you know how markets work or these cycles work, then you should expect these. And this is not going to be the first one in the next 12 months. There will be several more. Bitcoin will pump and altcoins will go back to where they were a couple weeks ago, right? And then Bitcoin will be at 125 and then it's going to go to 135 and then your altcoins are going to be up another 50% or 100%, 200%. And you're going to feel euphoric. And then bam, Bitcoin's going to go back to 100K again. There's going to be some FUD, and your altcoins are going to go back down to, especially the memes and the newest, hottest shit that has no real use case, that's just like on some trend, are going to go be back down 80, 90%, right? And then the same thing's going to happen again. And then it's going to happen again. And then by the fourth or fifth time, you're probably going to go, okay, when you do have the next correction, you're going to be like, okay, it's just another dip. Fine, no worries. But then it's just going to dip again and again and again and again. And then that's the bear market. So what you do notice though is right now, Bitcoin is down like 10% when a lot of our alts are down between the biggest ones, large cap alts are down 30%, while most of the memes and the AI agent stuff are down like 80, 90%. You can see layer ones, Bitcoin down 9.2%. This is since the December highs. ETH down 44%, Sol's down 30%, AVAX down 82%, Virtual 72%, AI16Z 84%, Griffin 65%. BVV doesn't count, it just launched. But DeFi, remember when these were all the hype things? I remember when we were talking about Drift. So now you have an opportunity, my friends, to come in and look at these things and say, well, what was crushing and now is down huge? And I would stay away from the newer things, the very new things, unless you understand. But like, not financial advisor here, but being able right now to go and buy Virtual, for example, at a 72% discount, fantastic. AI16Z at 84%, what? Are you kidding me? Griffin at 65% discount, fantastic. Even some of the memes are going to make huge comebacks. Like WIF is down 84%. It's likely to make a huge recovery. I actually have sold most of my WIF. I just don't hear anyone talking about it anymore, but that's probably the time when it pumps the most. Bonk, I think I'm actually more bullish on because it's synonymous with Solana. 70% discount, what? SHIB's down 82%. Doge is 64%. Pepe 65%. Those things are all going to pump like crazy. So huge discounts right now. I wish I had more dry powder. I'm pretty sure that most of the stuff that we bought, we were pretty early, so maybe we're back to our entry price or down, not nearly. I don't think we top blasted maybe once in a while. But like, if you guys are out there trying to hustle in life and you want to make the most of this bull run, do everything that you can do in your power to go earn extra money, side hustles, whatever it is. Now you can go buy these dips, and probably these things will all pump most of them have to go 3x just to get back to where they were before. If you're trying to get ahead of life, stop spending money frivolously on Starbucks and going out to eat and like all this crap, and focus. And these dips are for life-changing opportunities. Life-changing opportunities, right? And remember, take profit into Bitcoin, because remember, I gave you Griffin at $8 million and then it went to, I forget what, like almost $1 billion or something. Should be taking profit into Bitcoin because now it's down 65% and Bitcoin's only down 10. But remember, it will pump back up, and I believe Griffin will outperform Bitcoin in the altcoin cycle, and that's why we buy it. But we just never know when that last correction is going to be the correction that really corrects, and they just don't come back from that point for 3 years. Very important. Even McDonald's is making jokes with crypto right now, because in the space right now we always say, well, you can always get a good job at McDonald's. Well, Michael Saylor used to work at McDonald's. But this is also a time when you have to have conviction, because people are going to give you crap. Your parents, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your dog, whatever, your friends, the people who were super envious of you just a few weeks ago because they didn't invest and you did. And now this correction came and they wanted confirmation that they were right and that you were wrong. And so they're going to give you shit for it, right? Mind them no business, pay them no attention. Understand what you're doing. And again, if you're going to put a big amount of money into something, have conviction in it and in the long run, right? It's hard to find something with as much conviction as Bitcoin when it was. But I do think some of these protocols like Chainlink's already pretty expensive, but I think Chainlink will be like $1 trillion protocol, for example. Solana probably still has a ton more upside to go. But every day people are inventing new interesting things. And I'll tell you about one of the things that I think is one of the best opportunities right now in the space at the very end of the video. Stay tuned for that. Okay, so just a few more things, guys. So last year in 2024, 78% of institutional traders said they were not planning to do digital coins or crypto. This year, it's 71%. So we're increasing by some percentage of people, but that small percentage of increase of institutional traders equals a large amount of actual capital. So we're going in the right direction. I wouldn't be surprised if it was even higher now. What you're looking at here, guys, is the diamond hands, the long-term holders, the people like me who just said, I'm not selling this. Like, this is my future retirement. And eventually, Bitcoin will stop appreciating so much. It'll become adopted on a global scale. And then it'll be more kind of like maybe fluctuating like gold or like the US dollar, where it'll go up and down, but maybe in a year, on any given day, 0.25% or so. So it'll be less interesting at that point, and you'll be able to spend it everywhere in the world, right? And so the amount of holders that are diamond handing for the long term is just increasing all the time. You know what that means? Is that every single day, there's probably at least minimum several handfuls of people who are buying Bitcoin with the intention of not selling it for probably at least 5 or 10, 15, 20 years. What does that mean? Well, we know that Bitcoin is a finite supply. We know that there are 21 million only, a lot of them lost and gone forever. And so every single day, there's less Bitcoin available in the world. Every day. There's a lot of people that just trade it. I don't know why. They try to make more fiat. And there's people who just try to accumulate and hold. And so every single day, there's less Bitcoin available. And guys, the supply crunch is coming. The fact that when the dominoes start falling, when all of the strategic Bitcoin reserves start happening around the world, people are going to try to buy Bitcoin on exchanges, and it's just not going to be there. And then and that's when you're going to see the price of Bitcoin jump $10,000 a day, $20,000 a day. It will blow your mind. We're nowhere near that yet. And as you guys can see, like, this is the ex-president of PayPal. Listen to what he has to say.
And I think there's just a lot more opportunity for growth and appreciation of Bitcoin than gold in the next couple of decades. So
it's new people that are reputable in the world that Wall Street looks at, that people look at and say, oh, Larry Fink is doing this. This guy, ex-president of PayPal is saying this. And so this is just, now you have this ever-expanding narrative of growing. I remember it was just a few years ago when everyone was calling Bitcoin rat poison squared, and it was only used for illegal. It's still today in Christine Lagarde of the US, of Europe, still says it's used for illicit purposes. Like, get the F out of here. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin obituaries. Just so you understand, this is every time that somebody has called or pronounced Bitcoin as dead, meaning that it's not going to make it, it's dead forever. I remember a long time ago, long time ago, I forget the guy's name. He was one of the Bitcoin core developers. I remember it was one of the Bitcoin core developers who had a blog, and people respected him. And what he ended up writing a blog post and saying that Bitcoin is a failed experiment. It's no longer going to make it. It's dead, and he's selling all of his Bitcoin. I remember that day, the price of Bitcoin fell from I think it was around $1,000 to $180. I literally went to my mom's house and then my dad's house, and I went in a state of emergency and told them, guys, please buy Bitcoin right now. Like you need to buy Bitcoin right now. And I couldn't get, here it is, Mike Hearn, the resolution of Bitcoin experiment. This one, January 14, 2016, Mike Hearn. So yeah, it dropped to 180 after that, I believe. Insane. So anyway, point is, this is going to be around forever. And so even though there's new tariffs and it comes back, pulls back, the crypto market is going to happen. The crypto market's going to happen. And we've never seen a time when Bitcoin pumped like crazy, and in that same season, altcoins didn't follow. And as you can see, everybody is becoming an advocate. So we know the Czech Republic is now interested in Bitcoin. I think they're establishing it as, I forgot, we just mentioned it the other day, but I forget. But now he's implementing a law that's saying if you can hold your Bitcoin for more than 3 years, you don't have to pay any capital gains on it. Very smart, right? This is like the first use case for Bitcoin staking in a way, you know? And it's smart because he's getting people to hold versus sell, which is bullish for all of us. Getting people in, because what happens is when you buy Bitcoin the first time as a new person and you're not really sure, you haven't read the white paper, you don't have conviction yet, you buy it and the price corrects 10% and you get scared, you sell it and you go away. But everything that we can do to give people more time in the market so they can see the fluctuations, and most likely, most of the time, if you spend 3 years in the market, you're going to make money. You're going to be up. Unless you buy at like the Pico top or something of the bull market, and then which is a lot of people do. But then it's still, I think it's like two and a half years after that. 2 years after that before it kind of hits back to all-time high. So breaking news, Utah now, their Bitcoin reserve has become the first state where Bitcoin declared the chamber vote, passing the House, and now to the Senate. Maybe Utah is the first state that actually passes it into law. And remember, guys, it doesn't take much for the market sentiment to shift like that, right? I mean, all it takes is a little bit of price difference. And the same thing for a project, right? I founded a few projects, and when the price of the token's down, the community's all upset. They're making complaints and they're telling you you're not doing your job well, and that they all kinds of suggestions on how you could be doing better. And the price pumps 10% and everyone shuts up and they're happy again. And saying you're amazing and thank you and blah, 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 right? So it's the same way with the market, and you just relax with it. Relax, don't worry about it. Like, it doesn't bother me at all that we have this pullback. I just wish I had more fiat to put into it. Adoption is happening, right? So before, the SEC would just do this, like, nope, I don't even want to talk to you, Solana ETF application. Now the SEC is saying, yep, I'll take it. Let me take a look. Doesn't mean it's going to get accepted. Still far from that. The deadline is October 14th. So still have a long time, but it just goes to show you the change in the mindset from the SEC. And the Rothschilds, Baron Rothschild, made a fortune by this famous quote saying, buy when there's blood in the streets. Baron Rothschild made a fortune FOMO buying when people panic sold. But the second part of his quote isn't recited as often. Even if the blood is your own, you often have to go against yourself to be profitable, right? And so even when you're bleeding, buy those things that you have conviction in. I do the exact same thing. I was accumulating and buying paid and Commonwealth in the downturns, right? These are my projects and I have conviction and I know better than anybody what's the long-term vision there. And so for me personally, not financial advice, even when there's blood in the streets and the blood was mine, there you go. So I told you that I was going to give you one of my high conviction plays that I think is going to change the world. It is my own project. And there's some breaking news. So yesterday, Commonwealth, which is the world's first and only decentralized VC. See, what you guys may or may not understand, you probably do, is that Wall Street and venture capital was made to keep the rich rich, right? And you had to be an accredited investor in order to participate in private deals, private sales. And if you ever watched the All In podcast or what, these guys are all privileged 1%ers who got to invest in Uber early. You got to invest in Facebook early, etc. But you guys don't get to invest in virtual early. You don't get to invest in Solana early. You get to buy it when it's already traded on the secondary market. So what Commonwealth has done is it built something completely decentralized, fully on chain, where it gives you, the everyday person, the opportunity to invest in early stage projects the same prices or better than VCs, and the deals are curated and proposed from successful VCs with big track records that have been very successful. And then ultimately it's up to the participants in the fund to vote yes or no on that proposal for an investment. And these kind of deals are a longer term play, but I believe that this will become one of the most popular and important and relevant applications in the crypto world, because what's going to happen is people are going to think that they're all badass in crypto. I just did, 15x on Fartcoin or whatever. The fund's only doing 3 or 4x, whatever. The VC funds, but actually a lot of crypto VC funds do much better than that anyway. But in the short term, in a bull market, people think they're badass, right? But the problem is that most people will lose a lot of their money and go broke again. And then the bear market comes and you will have done nothing in crypto. The likelihood of your funds being managed by a VC style application where everything's controlled is the likelihood, not financial advice. I don't know how this is going to perform. This is for everyone individually, but in large, VC funds outperform the retail, right? Why? Well, they get to get into high quality deals, do due diligence, and get special terms, often many, many, many multiples lower than when you first get to buy it when it's being traded on an exchange. And oftentimes the VCs are selling, when you're buying the token at $20, they bought it at $5, and now they're selling to you at $20, right? They just made 4x and you're buying at 20, and then it goes back down to 10. You just lost 50% of your money. So that's Commonwealth. And I truly believe in this project, obviously. And yesterday we made a really cool announcement of a new product besides the funds called bundles. We were going to call them DTFs for fun, but actually it's like decentralized ETF is what it is. And so there's 2 right now. So how sick is that? So with a brand new person can come to the site, app.joincommonwealth.xyz, and with a credit card or with crypto, they can just come in and buy the top 5 cryptos: Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, and XRP. Or if they want to be a little bit more generous, they can go buy the top 5 memes, right? And if you are new to the space and you don't have time to stay involved in crypto Twitter, a lot of people, including people like my mom, they want exposure to more altcoins. They want my mom's been in Bitcoin since 2015. And she's, she asked me, hey, what do you think about XRP? What do you think about Link? Cool. But if there was an easy way for them to buy an index of the top narratives, so the 2 bundles that launch first is the top 5 crypto, which is so easy, to go buy, by the way, to go buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana. These are all on different protocols. So you cannot actually go custody. This is not easy to go buy. You can go to a centralized exchange and buy these, but then where do you send them to? It's complicated. It's difficult. On Commonwealth, you just one click, it buys them all for you. Same with the memes. So people, if they're like, I just want exposure to the blue chips of each category. Cool. Easy to do. Few clicks and you're done. So this is a new product. I think this is going to be huge, especially with now all the institutions, now offering indexes as well. And Commonwealth is the first self-custody on-chain index. And soon we're going to have proposals from the community, top 5 AI agents, or top 10, AI infrastructure, or, top 5 DeFi protocols, top 5 Trump, whatever, right? Whatever the Commonwealth community thinks is going to be good, or the oracles, the people vote, think will be a good bundle to have. We can roll it out. And I think this is going to be something that the mainstream will love. This is the website. And talking about conviction, don't take my word for it. I think this is going to change the world, but don't take my word for it. Go to joincommonwealth.xyz and read the white paper. Just like I did for Bitcoin. This is much easier to read. It was written in a way with lots of pretty pictures and drawings and stuff like that. It's easy to understand. It's 50 pages, but there's a lot of pictures and graphs and stuff like that. But it goes into detail of how it works and the purpose and the mission statement, right? Who's behind it? Guys, it's sitting at a $3.2 million market cap, 8 million fully diluted. It's down currently 96% from all-time high 7 months ago. Do you think that it's down this much because it's a shitty app? The thing is, VC investing, which is the primary protocol, takes time for returns. And the entire token economy is built in just the way a fund is. But some of the most successful companies and people in the world are fund managers or people who have invested in great funds. The business model works, and I believe in Commonwealth. Not financial advice, but I wanted to bring it to your attention because the bundle's rolled out, which I think is going to be a huge product. Super perfect for retail. Your grandma, your auntie, your no-coiner friends who just want some exposure. They don't want to go do a bunch of research and due diligence. They just want to buy the top 5 of like that, the memes and top 5 cryptos. Easy with their credit card. Bam, that's it. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.